So the two that kind of crosses over to one of the two themes that I wanted to be sure to point out. So there are two themes that I really love. The first, and this is the one that I think is related, is that St. Patrick has a real gratitude for God's work in his life, which is extraordinary, right? I mean, again, this guy who was sold into slavery, and then has been a missionary in a foreign land and has given it all, as Father Jacob-Bertrand pointed out, for the gospel. So throughout the confession, he just says again and again, I'm so thankful to God. So this is in number 38. I am greatly in debt to God. He gave me such great grace that through me, many people should be born again in God and brought to full life. So there are many passages like this where St. Patrick is just talking about how grateful he is to God for the work the Lord has done in his life and through him. And the other great theme, and this one is kind of a surprise, is mercy. So again, whatever sins there are in St. Patrick's youth, and he's not as explicit as St. Augustine is about the sins of his youth. Part of that is as Father Jacob-Bertrand pointed out, the brevity of the work. But he had in this conversion an experience of God's mercy that was so compelling, that he continues to be driven by this love of God, which he himself has known. So he talks about mercy many times in the confession. He says things like this. I am so grateful for the mercy which I have known from God. He talks again. The Lord was merciful to me 1,000,000 times, because he saw in me that I was ready, but that I did not know what I should do about the state of my life. So it's this overwhelming sense of those twin themes of gratitude and mercy that make the confession, I think, just a really wonderful text. Any other comments on the confession?
I was thinking too of this gratitude, of this thankfulness. Often I think something that I hear a lot, or that is heard a lot in the confessional, or at least in conversations, or in like my own experience too, is like this kind of growing envy of what others have, and or not growing, but a kind of envy of looking at the world, whether or not this person is more successful or more holy, or like whatever it might be. We all have our sort of things that we wish were ours. And I think that's remedied by and in gratitude. And taking stock of what it is that the Lord has given and how it is that the Lord is working in our lives. St. Patrick is a great example of this. But to recognize that the love that was showered, the mercy that was showered on St. Patrick, is the same love and mercy. It's the same God who's working in our lives. And I don't want to just say it's like an attitude that we have to adopt, but it's an actual real understanding of what it is and how it is that God's working in our lives. And, St. Patrick's an example of this. And we often... that's a good time to like work on our conscience and make an examination of conscience and repent and these sort of things. But it's also a good time to like make an examination of gratitude, of like examination of gifts, and I encourage people to do this even like in their evening prayer. When you wear a night prayer before you go to bed, you take a look at your life and like, what did I fail at today? But also, how has God blessed me today? What has God given me? And I think St. Patrick is a great example of this, the suffering and the trials that he faced. It's like, but in it, we see God's hand at work. He saw it in his own life, and we can grow by grace in that sensitivity. So like all the saints, they offer us an example or like a path forward. And this is one that I think that St. Patrick kind of offers in a unique way, a particular way.
Father Jacob-Bertrand.
Father Gregory.
A Dominican, a Franciscan, and a Jesuit walk into a bar. One of them asks the audience to subscribe. That's not a joke. Any ways you can improve upon it?
Just don't tell jokes.
Right. This is not a joke. Please subscribe. Cheers.